Coronation Street fans will soon watch Carla Connor come face-to-face with villain Logan Radcliffe as she sets out to support her partner Lisa Swain in moving forward from past emotional wounds. Next week on Coronation Street, Carla takes it upon herself to uncover the truth about Becky Swain, as hinted in a brand new spoiler teaser. From the looks of the preview, she might be close to uncovering long-buried secrets as she stumbles upon new information about Becky, the deceased wife of Lisa Swain. Lisa has been dealing with emotional upheaval, having to confront memories of Becky's death during active duty. Becky passed away several years ago, and both Lisa and her daughter Betsy Swain have found it difficult to heal. Things became even more painful earlier this year when allegations surfaced suggesting Becky might have been a crooked cop, deepening Lisa's sorrow and confusion. Fresh revelations and potential suspects surrounding Becky's fate have thrown Lisa into emotional turmoil, something she's still working through. Determined to find closure, Lisa has been tirelessly trying to unearth the truth. Betsy has also done some digging into whether Becky might have crossed ethical lines, and now Carla feels it's her responsibility to step in. Watching Lisa struggle with therapy and the constant probing into Becky's history, Carla becomes desperate to take action. This leads her to visit Logan in jail, just like Betsy did earlier in the year. It had been suspected that Logan and his brother Matty were responsible for the hit and run that led to Becky's death. With ongoing speculation about Becky's possible secrets and Logan's connection, it becomes apparent that Logan may be hiding something significant. When Carla confronts him for answers, a cryptic clue from Logan forces her to draw her own conclusions. She confronts him directly, asking, "Are you going to tell me about Becky or what?" Logan mocks her, implying he might expose her actions to Lisa. He replies, "Does Swain know you're here?" "I'll take that as a no. So you're after the truth about Backhand Becky?" Carla registers the nickname and realizes it may be the strongest indication yet that Becky was indeed involved in shady dealings, and Logan knows the full story. She presses further, asking, "Are you saying she was dodgy?" Logan tries to deflect, joking that he was talking about Becky's tennis abilities, though his smirk gives away more than his words. Carla pushes again. "Was she a bent copper or not, Logan?" The manipulative prisoner teases, "Maybe or maybe not," before revealing he's open to negotiation and expects payment in exchange for what he knows. Carla inquires about his price, but the teaser ends before he states what he wants or reveals any details. Will Carla finally uncover the truth Lisa has been desperate to hear? And could the mystery surrounding Becky's past finally come to light? Coronation Street legend disowns brother after uncovering his crimes. Coronation Street icon Kevin Webster was left seething in tonight's episode after discovering the truth behind Carl Webster's shady actions. Ever since Carl set foot on the street, he's been stirring up trouble, flirting with Aadi Webster and launching a fraudulent MOT operation at Webster's Autos. But Kevin isn't exactly innocent either, as he's been deceiving Aadi about his health. Although doctors gave him the all-clear, Kevin falsely claimed he still needed chemotherapy. In this evening's episode, Kevin overheard Carl having a secret conversation with his contact Fiona as they planned to steal a car from the garage. When Kevin spotted Fiona speeding off in the stolen vehicle, he gave chase, but his pursuit was cut short when he ran out of breath and had to be taken to hospital. It was there that Kevin confronted Carl about the plot, explaining he had seen Fiona take the car just moments after their suspicious exchange. Carl tried to play innocent, denying any part in the theft, but Kevin was quick to shut him down, making it clear he didn't buy his lies. Carl, however, wasn't about to take a lecture on honesty from his brother. He called Kevin out for his own deceit, having just found out from a doctor that Kevin hadn't received chemotherapy in months. Kevin, attempting to justify his actions, confessed he feared losing Aadi if she found out he'd been cleared, and he blamed Carl for creating havoc in their relationship. He then vowed to uncover the full scale of Carl's illegal dealings at the garage. When Kevin threatened to alert the authorities, Carl retaliated by saying he'd expose Kevin to Aadi and that he could implicate him in the scam too, especially since Kevin's name was on all the forged MOT documents. Carl warned that he could tear Kevin's life apart, but their explosive conversation was interrupted by Abby's sudden arrival. Still, the conflict didn't end there. Later on, Kevin reminded Carl that he could turn him in at any moment, leaving Carl unsure of what his brother might do next. Kevin soon made his stance clear, announcing that Carl was dead to him. Has the bond between the brothers been shattered beyond repair? And will either of them follow through on their threats to expose the other? Inside Coronation Street's Brody star Ryan Mulvey's life with famous dad. Coronation Street audiences have watched Brody Michaelis become a familiar face on the cobbles. Viewers were left deeply moved after recent episodes showed the troubled teen being turned away by both Mick and Kit, two men he looked up to as father figures. Since arriving on the show in February, 19-year-old Ryan Mulvey has brought Brody to life, transforming him from a wayward young offender into a confused and heartbroken youth. Brody was crushed when Mick Michaelis, currently behind bars for killing PC Craig Tinker and stabbing Detective Kit Green, dropped the bombshell that Brody was actually Kit's biological son, the result of an affair with his mother Lou. Mick then coldly declared he wanted nothing to do with him. The revelation destroyed Brody, who had always looked up to Mick, despite inheriting some of his aggressive traits. He had even dreamed of running away from Weatherfield with Mick and his younger sisters, who now live with neighbors Tim and Sally after Lou's arrest. Brody is completely devastated, says Ryan, who lives with his family in Altrincham, Cheshire. He's idolized Mick for years, even though he's not perfect. To hear that Mick wants no part of his life is utterly crushing, according to the Mirror. Desperate for affection and stability, Brody turned to Kit for support, only to be rejected once again. Luckily, Ryan's own life is a far cry from his characters. His real father has not only been a role model, but also someone who's helped others shine. Ryan's dad, Eamon Mulvey, once coached Marcus Rashford as a senior development mentor at Manchester United. His mum, Heidi, works for the National Grid. Both are incredibly proud and supportive of his acting career. In his first interview with the Mirror, Ryan shared, "My reality is nothing like Brody's. I'm very close to my parents and my sister Freya. They're my biggest cheerleaders." He adds, "My dad coaches in Man United's youth setup, and my granddad played for Blackburn. Even my grandma, Carol, is football mad, probably more than the rest of us. There's this ongoing family joke that even though I've never played football, I somehow always get cast in roles involving it." Coincidentally, football plays a part in Brody's storyline too. Kit uses a football match to try to bond with the son he barely knows. In upcoming episodes, Kit takes Brody to a game in an attempt to reach out, but it'll take more than that to earn his trust. Their relationship promises to be rocky, full of emotional twists and youthful rebellion, something Ryan admits he understands. Despite coming from a footballing family, Ryan chose a different path early on. Dad and Granddad were both amazing players, but I was stubborn, he confesses. Everyone assumed I'd follow in their footsteps, but I pushed back and wanted to take a different route. He adds, "Looking back, I probably passed up the best mentorship anyone could have had, but I believe everything happens for a reason. Acting is where I truly belong. Playing Brody on Coronation Street is a dream I never thought would come true." Ryan's father never pressured him to stick with football, something he's thankful for. "Mum and Dad always supported my passion for acting," he recalls. "I remember when I was 6, we were asked in swimming class what we wanted to be when we grew up. Some said soldier, some said footballer, but I said actor. Now, getting to wake up every morning and live that childhood dream is just incredible." After studying performing arts at Manchester College, Ryan landed a role in Hollyoaks as J.J. Osborne in January 2024, staying with the show for a year. His big break came shortly after, stepping into the role of Brody, the troubled son of chaotic couple Mick and Lou Michaelis, in Coronation Street. Coronation Street continues every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. on ITV and ITVX.